Our chart of the week highlights China's strong demand for importing dairy heifers, given the large number of new farm projects currently underway. On top of this, just last week, the New Zealand government confirmed it will ban the export of heifers by sea within a 2-year timeframe. This comes on the heels of a combined record number of dairy heifers being shipped from Australia and New Zealand to China in 2020, totalling 165,000 heifers. This was a jump of 25% on 2019 and is 4% higher than the previous peak back in 2015. There are other markets for the export of heifers outside of China. A number of dairy industries across Southeast Asia and the Middle East have long-term ambitions to boost local milk production. This provides an alternative for exporters. However, the volume of trade is much lower. To emphasise the point, China alone has accounted for around 90% or more of heifers exported from Australia and New Zealand over the past few years. For Chinese farms, there is potential to procure cattle outside of Australia and New Zealand, but this would be dependent on supply chain capability, competitiveness, genetic availability and export regulation. So with this ban, Australian farmers stand to gain the most. Based on 2020 numbers and current pricing, this is a potential $180 million boost in trade for Australia's heifer export sector. So why is China building so many new large-scale dairy farms? Firstly, near record high milk prices are propelling interest in new farm developments. In the past 12 months, the raw milk price in China has jumped close to 20% and is at near record levels. Strong demand for liquid milk as consumers look for the nutritional benefits from having more dairy in their diets, and the rising cost of production has pushed the milk price higher. Secondly, the government is also playing a role in bolstering a wave of farm expansion. China can and is turning more inward for a number of foodstuffs. This includes a focus on increasing self-sufficiency in dairy. While full self-sufficiency in dairy is not the goal at this stage, we expect an active pipeline of dairy farm expansion in China to continue at pace over the next 3 years or more. This demand for heifers from this part of the world will help populate the new farms with high-quality animals. Livestock trading conditions and the income for exporting heifers has been a key feature of farm profitability during recent seasons for many Australian dairy farmers. So strong demand from China and less competition from New Zealand will be welcome news. There will be some interesting on-farm decisions in the coming seasons for Australian dairy farm businesses. So the question for dairy farmers is, should you focus on local herd expansion or exporting heifers? And all of this takes place against a backdrop of heightened tensions between Australia and China. We will be watching future developments closely.
And how are things looking on farm for the Australian dairy sector?
It's definitely a really positive story for dairy farmers. A new season is fast approaching and the settings are in place for ongoing profitability across much of the sector given the milk price signals, seasonal conditions and the outlook for the cost of key inputs.
Thanks, Mick.